kamikaze.
I don't know what she said, but it must have been Indian for handsome devil.
Oh, say, their time is over. The will should come to us. We got to take back control of our home.
This is the ScreenBlast Podcast, the place where we talk big cinematic masterpieces like what we're about to talk about today. I am your host, Bryan the Baltimorean. Find me there. Find me on atdemocracy.com. Find me, of course, here at ScreenBlast. Joined as always with...
Canine biscuits.
Could you know what would be hilarious is the people that leave within the first 10 seconds that think that you talk like that. Like
fucking Chewbacca. Like fucking Chewbacca. And you just like respond as I'm saying shit. Like,
well, I think the taxes are actually.
No, you're having an argument like that's wrong. Did you check your facts? Okay, it might be true, but I disagree. I just disagree. All right.
Is that why our numbers are so low? Because it's.
Wow, is that really your political views?
Well, I agree wholeheartedly. Of course, this is the ScreenBlast Podcast, as I said before, where we talk just big movies, but it's part of a wider lineup of content here at the ScreenBlast Society. Of course, if you are looking for something that's just as offensive as this movie shows people were offensive back in the day, you can look at our previous ScreenBlast podcast on Velma, a terribly offensive
This
show.
is like so unrelated.
I know, but it's still
this is like extremely unrelated.
It's still a way to dig at Velma, but also it's a way to say, F you, Warner Brothers, you stink.
You know what's the best way to dig at Velma? By not fucking mentioning it so it can be forgotten.
But you can watch it. No, you can watch our thoughts on it. Don't watch it, but you can watch our thoughts. Always.
It's like it got a lot of views because there was a lot of fucking hate watchers.
Yes.
Guilty. Okay, I did hate watch it because I did watch it 2 other times after the first time because I was trying to watch it the first time. The other 2 times I was trying to watch it with like you and a different friend. Yeah. So I only watched that first episode 3 times.
Isn't that great? That sounds terrible. Well, the president liked it. He gave her a Medal of Freedom, so, you know.
It's not even fun to rip off. This show is despicable.
Yes, indeed. Just like the actions of this movie, so that's why they're related.
Get it off screen! Go somewhere else!
But overall, guys, this is...
You just made it bigger!
I know, because I'm trying to give them the audience the understanding. Of course, ScreenBlast, cartoon chat for animation. Mark and Bryan have a cow for memes, topics, chill conversations, and Blasting Turbo Reports, our video game-focused conversation. We've got a lot of episodes of Blasting Turbo Reports coming down the line because a lot more video game content has been happening.
Wile E. Coyote nearly got canceled, but this fucking stuff
Hey,
stuff.
I mean, yeah. Again, this is a perfect thing. F Warner Brothers. Anyway, let's get into the topic at hand. But before we do, guys, of course, if you have topics, ideas, questions, and more, send them right here to ScreenBlastPodcast@gmail.com. That's all one word, ScreenBlastPodcast@gmail.com. You can also go to ScreenBlast Podcast on YouTube, ScreenBlast Society on YouTube, comment on any of the videos, and we will see what we can do with those, things like that.
If you have money, give that to us too. We don't have like an account or a Patreon or anything, but like if you see us in person, just throw us at our feet.
I was going to say,
money to us at our feet and then run away.
I was going to say, don't hand it to us. Definitely.
Throw it at our feet and then run away.
The most disrespectful way possible, please. Yeah. All right, let's get into it.
It's like you don't have to make no awkward conversation or anything. It's like they just see us and it's like just throw money at our feet and it's like, oh, that's about like $17.80 right there. I'll just pick it up.
I'll just pick it up. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Right. All right, let's get.
Actually, that's the most inoffensive way.
That is the most inoffensive way. Yeah, they could literally spit it out their mouths at us. Yeah, just like a bird. So, not bad. Let's get to Killers of the Flower Moon. This is quite a movie. We have a lot to talk about for this. But before we get into it, Mark, I do want to ask you. Leading into this movie, obviously I was a little more interested in this than you, but what did you think going in before, I mean?
It looks like an interesting historical piece, and I like historical pieces. the only thing that was turning me off was the runtime. As soon as I found out the runtime, I was like, because I don't have much time on my hands because I have like a regular job and I have to do all this shit on top of the regular job. You have pets. This stupid fucking podcast. Fuck this whole show. But but it's like, oh my god, I'm gonna have to find some time for this because I'm used to doing 3 hours. I watch fucking Marvel movies. I watched Oppenheimer recently, and but like fucking 3.5. That's like a little bit over the mark right there. And I get like Martin Scorsese's comment. It's like if people can binge a TV show, they can watch a 3.5-hour movie. But it's like, but that's binging a show at your home. You can pause it or not or stop at any time. Not even at your home. You could do it on a train. You could do it on a plane. You could be in motion while you're actually watching this. Yeah, stuff. But the movie obeys every command. You can just you can talk on the phone. You can just pause it. You can go to the bathroom. You're asking me to fucking not go to the bathroom for 3.5 hours. Yeah, it was like I texted you right before I saw it. I was like, dude. So I'm about to go into this. In the span of time that I could be watching this movie, I could literally take a train from where we are in Baltimore up to New York. I could drive myself all the way down to Ocean City, which is far away. That's like almost 200 miles away. I could complete the entirety of the campaign of Journey. There's way more interesting things I could be doing for 3.5 hours, but here I am. Except masturbating. You need a lot more time for masturbating. You technically... If you have good porn. If you have bad porn, just gotta get over it. If you balance it out well. Yeah. Just get that bad one, it just, It's enough time to goon. I'm getting gross, I'm sorry. We always make a fucking I can't help it. Dirty jokes are too funny. They are. It's too easy. Yeah, way more funny than this movie right here. So let's get into the movie details. No, this movie has some funny parts. It definitely does. By the way, I just want to say, fuck AMC. I don't know if there's other theaters, but as long as its runtime is cool. As long as its runtime is 25 minutes of preview still. I thought it was going to be because I've been to a couple movies where they shortened the length of previews before for other movies. But for this one. No, still 25 minutes of previews. So I went to the Senator, which of course is more of a smaller local theater. Somebody's backyard. And it's someone's back. It's just a cheap ass projector screen and an illegal copy of. It's like one of those dollar store projectors on their fucking wall. It's just someone's phone that's been amplified by 50 times, and that's no that. It's somebody's phone behind a big magnifying plastic, but a big those plastic magnifier. Yes. Yeah. Yes. What a shit idea. But yeah, man. I went to the Senator. They only had 2 previews. It's already, like you said, it's a long movie, and I do want to add on fuck AMC as well because their value option these days is now $15. If you want to go discount Tuesdays. It was $6 for me to see this at the Senator, and it's a very nice theater. The AMC at Owings Mills or at White Marsh, the only options I had, it was $14 to $15. Is that higher? That is a fucking awful. That is the base level. Yes, that's the cheap. I need to check my fucking bank account see if they're taking any more than because I know it was $22 was the for that subscription. I saw their fucking subscription. I think your subscription probably didn't change, but for normal people, the price just to go in for normies is just dude, why are you charging this much? I get it. They have a lot of theaters. Some of them don't do as well, obviously, financially, so they have to balance that out. But I think they're just way out of their league now, price-wise. And definitely in places that don't have a lot of movie theaters, you're definitely going to kill a lot of the movie scene. You can imagine, if you're in a place where AMC is your only option, that's going to kill a lot of, Which kids, they could be, because they're everywhere. But there's some place I've been, I've been to a small town like Salinas. I think, the Cinemark near there is, their only option. And it's damn, because they set the bar. And so it's if I wanted to
take my kids to go see a movie, but it costs $14 and then $14 and then like $10 for a kid. It's like, all right, what movies do I go see? How many movies can I go see? It limits your options. So
yeah. Both AMC and Cinemark have like most of the fucking theater monopoly.
Definitely, yeah, they're the
AMC more than Cinemark, but Cinemark still has its second place.
Yep, they are the dominant.
Just like Verizon, Comcast has the fucking internet right now.
100%. Yeah, Comcast is everywhere. Comcast is huge.
Verizon is second place, but they're trying to catch up.
There you go. They've moved in Toronto. Yeah. But yeah, fuck AMC. I agree with you. Fuck AMC. Let's get back to the movie detail here. So, just want to run down some of these stats here. It released right before Halloween. This was October 20th. Directed by the legendary Martin Scorsese. This guy, of course, director of Taxi Driver, Goodfellas, Wolf of Wall Street, The Irishman, which The Irishman actually is a longer movie. That was the Netflix film that came out, I believe, during COVID. And that was a 3.5 hour movie. It beats this runtime by a little bit. They CGI. They CGI. What's his name? Robert De Niro.
There's a lot of Netflix movies we gotta catch up on for ScreenBlast. Because like the only one we're guaranteed to watch right now is fucking
Chicken Run.
True. I mean, besides all these Netflix
all the other series, you mean all the fucking billions of series?
But like the only movie we're gonna fucking guarantee is Chicken Run. But like, there's like the funny thing about how the time period this movie released. There's another movie on Netflix called Killers. And I was like, oh, the Flower Moon? No, it's just Killers.
Just the Killers.
It's like there's like I didn't realize there was another movie, and apparently that one's really good too.
Yes.
I do want to take the time to watch that one.
I think it was the one with Michael Fassbender. Actually,
I don't know who's acting in it, but like
because
I just heard the name.
Yeah, he played Steve Jobs in that one movie.
Because I was like, let me look up more reviews for Killers of the Flower Moon. Oh, there it is.
They're like, the Killers is great. What are you talking about? Yeah.
This is Killers.
Yeah, either way, they're both killing it, as the kids say.
Yeah! That's a good joke!
I just love that. The silence. Oh my god. Alright, anyway, guys.
That's a good joke, Brian. I'm going to put it right here on the fridge where I can see it every day.
You already covered it with a coupon. But this guy, Scorsese is a legendary director. Of course, he's the guy that said, hey, the MCU isn't actually film. And boy, he's right now. By the way, Killers...
He is currently correct right now.
Yes, remember, we were defending, people were like, hey, it might be Blockbuster.
He's right, but he shouldn't say it.
Yeah. We were like, back in the day, we were like, man, like, look, back in like 2018, 2019, when he said that, it was like, alright, they might be blockbusters, but these are some good fucking movies, and people are going to see them. Nowadays, it's like, well, he's got a point, I don't know. These aren't high peak cinema anymore, This is not high peak cinema. So anyway, this is based on, of course, the Killers of the Flower Moon book. By the way, almost immediately when this book was announced or came out, the rights to this book were pushed into film form rather quickly. So they wanted to get this movie produced within by 2018. They were already on the rolling on this idea. Scorsese wanted to do this. Wanted to be the one to direct this. He pushed this out after The Irishman, though. He prioritized The Irishman first, which is why it came out all the way here at this point in 2023. It has a runtime. We talked about the runtime, but of 3 hours and 26 minutes, and its budget is $200 million. Now, just a heads up, that is the highest budget for a movie shot in Oklahoma, apparently. So, just a little fun fact. That tells you, Oklahoma doesn't get a lot of big fucking, you know what I mean? Oklahoma is not like, hey, you gotta make that big movie. So, good on them. They definitely, helped a couple of industries over there.
There's a lot of space there. The sets look good.
Look good. Motherfucker, they look amazing. Anyway, before we get into the
sets, they look amazingly good.
Amazingly, fantastically good, Mark. You got another one you can stack on top of that?
They look amazingly good, fantastically amazing.
They're fantastic beasts, and where to find them? Is that what the fuck? Yeah, right.
This movie is just like Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. If you want like a good sequel to Fantastic Beasts, watch this movie. That's Brian's review, not mine. It's his words.
Imagine we get all the Harry.
That guy.
Imagine. I just want to see a theater packed of Harry Potter fans. Like I heard this is a good.
Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling. They're just like that's how they mumble.
That's how they talk.
It's like speaking in quotes, like you're a wizard, J.K. Rowling. You're a wizard. Hogwarts Legacy. Just a crowd of them.
Fucking Christ! All right. Let's. All right. Leo. So lineup here. Leonardo DiCaprio, the man who has been in the news about, dating young women, it is what it is. He is Ernest Burkhart. Robert De Niro, Will Hale. By the way, these two have been tag teaming with Scorsese for many, many, many movies. This is not their first run with him. You have Lily Gladstone as Molly. You have Jesse Plemons as Tom White, the agent there. Tantu Cardinal as Lizzie, and then John Lithgow as Peter Leeward. By the way, I will have to say, so John Lithgow, I have definitely seen him before, but funny enough, he did a really good job as Winston Churchill in The Crown, which we were talking about Netflix earlier. So, good to see him in other roles.
The Crown's a Netflix movie?
That's a Netflix series, and it's a long-running one now, but he was there in the
long running. I can't get into it.
Oh no, I don't. It depends on what you feel. This was back when. By the way, this was back when the Queen was alive. So that's the Queen is dead now.
I miss her.
So I don't really get.
It's worth not mine.
But all right, let's get into this movie, Mark. I want to talk first about the standouts, our positives. By the way, of course, over here at ScreenBlast, we have the standouts, which are our positive points of the movie, and then the sort of breakpoints, which are our negative perspectives. First, honestly, though, we could just talk about generally. What did you?
Like a little logo with the fucking emoji.
I'm going to be honest. It does not fit for this movie at all.
It's fucking he's put on top of that lady's head.
Seems a little disrespectful.
You should have made it so it places right on her neck.
Yeah.
Should have did that.
Make it a little more disrespectful, Brian, please. I don't know why you didn't just have all of them with a little emoji.
Honestly, you should have did it. It would have been funny.
It would have been great, Mark. What did you think? What are some? I don't think there's, in terms of the production of this movie.
Finish your sentence.
I don't find that it's negative, but I think that the actions of characters are more than negative. So what do you think?
Oh, we're talking about negatives or positives, or just
the
both?
Standouts? Let's talk about the standouts, the positives that you found in the movie. What do you think, Mark?
The acting is fantastic all around, and it's extremely believable. I don't know if we're going into spoilers yet, but
no. Hey man, if you guys don't know, this is a place of spoilers. All right, don't play any fucking games. This is spoiler land. All right, go ahead, Mark.
I love this. I love the sets. You probably should start with standouts because this feels like just our general review.
Yeah, we're reviewing. What are you talking about?
No, I know. What is this different from how we usually talk?
Because
how we usually structure our reviews.
We're doing positives and then we're doing negatives. Usually.
Okay. There's then that second slide. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
I haven't had time to look through the email you sent me.
Gotcha. Okay.
Fucking turkey bullshit.
That whole story. Jesus Christ, man. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yeah. Standouts. I love these. I love the way the movie starts. Actually, it pulls you in with showing you there's a lot of mysterious fucking deaths going on, but along with the deaths, no investigations.
Yes.
And it just that's how it brings you into the story. It doesn't feel like a true crime movie. Shit, what I was gonna say.
Gotcha. You said it's not necessarily this detective true crime type of movie, but it's unearthing something clearly, and you're sort of digging.
It's more of kind of a disaster movie in a way because it's not like a mystery either because you know who the bad guys are.
Yep.
You're just watching them do terrible shit.
Yes.
And it's like the main guy. I forgot the actor. I keep forgetting actors.
So are you talking about Are you talking about Leonardo, the middle-aged guy, or
the guy who gets married to the?
Yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio. That's Ernest.
Yeah, Leonardo. It's like I like his character. I hate him. I just hate that he's doing like heinous shit.
You mean you like the actor, but you hate the character, or?
No, I like the character, but I hate watching him doing like terrible stuff, and you like just kind of root. He just like turns around because he doesn't seem like an awful guy, and you do believe that he is actually in love with the.
He's clearly stuck within a rock and a hard place, but it makes you hate him significantly. I mean, he is the worst, but not as bad as Robert Robert De Niro.
And you find out more and more in the movie that he's like he's sort of like a yes. He just gets easily influenced by either side.
Yeah, pretty clearly.
And it's like when like his wife will tell him do the right thing, and he'll really think about it. And then, like, the other side will get on him, like his uncle, and like, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. You're right. I'm sorry.
It's a breaking point between following the love, obviously, that he claims to have, trying to keep this partnership together, while simultaneously dealing with the fact that, like, oh, I have someone that's clearly going to kill me if I don't follow his every whim.
Good, because like his uncle and everyone on his side knows like he's a fucking doormat. We can just like use him and just walk all over him if we just like tell him to. If we just like we just remind him that he is one.
Yeah, yeah. I will say in terms of the things that I dig. What's interesting about this is the setting is interesting, right? Because when we think of the Wild West, it's like Red Dead Redemption. Red Dead Redemption 2 spends a little time in this as well, where it's like. They talk a lot about, well, the West is being more confined and being more controlled, and it's more civilized now. And like here, we're in 1900s now. This is even more civilized, you could say. Significantly more civilized than like, oh, we're doing just really, really classic Western. There's electricity, there's like things that are actually moving, there's cars, like...
You see like a law. I mean, was it a bank house? Like that office they go into for the when they try and ask for money.
Yeah.
Or what's called.
You're talking about what? The bank.
Yeah, the bank. Okay, it's just a bank. Okay. I when I think of traditional banks, I think just okay. See, it's the old era. What the fuck?
What are you about to say?
I was thinking about like fucking
Western. Where's the ATM? Where's the?
No, yeah, I was thinking about like glass and shit. But I was like, no wait, I'm being stupid. No, there's banks in the olden days.
Yeah.
Just like a guy in his office.
Yeah, but I will say, I love the fact that we're at a point where it's like, even though the West is now more civilized than ever at this point, like. It still very much is like under control of a certain band of people, like, and obviously Will Hale, who played by Robert De Niro, the King, is one of them in this area, right? And even though this is technically Native American territory, it's like you can tell there's this encroachment of, hey, we can get this land, we can get these rights, we can get this money from them, and that's the whole game. And he's playing the long game. That's why it's so disgusting at the same time. Like, it's so disgusting, like, this movie, to me. Like, the first 2/3 especially, when things are not able to be investigated. And at every turn, everything's being stopped by force. That's when this movie is absolutely at its worst and absolutely disgusting. It is... borderline unwatchable at certain points. Not because it's like gruesome, but because it's like, damn, when are we gonna like this? We're not gonna get any help for these people. Like, fuck.
Here's the thing. Like, I guess it's like I'm glad I didn't read the book because it's more shocking that I see this movie this way. But like, when they mention like how they could get the land at first, and they're just like talking,
yeah,
and it's like, hey, you can marry her, and like we can eventually get this land. It can get passed on to you eventually.
Yep.
And I thought they just thinking hypothetical, and it's like. And it's like, okay, they, like, a person, like, I think the first person that dies, there's no... Fuck, I'm gonna let you in.
Right, no, I got it. Door right here, I got it. Oh, you didn't have to... Here.
No. Ah! Get out!
Brought to you by Lucius, ladies and gentlemen. I'm either gonna edit this out or
You can edit it out.
Yeah, I probably will, because if he was on camera, he missed the camera so slightly. If he was on camera, I'd probably keep it in, but he literally dashed.
He was literally looking at me like, "Hey, they fucking recording?"
Let's interrupt. But no, you were talking.
But like, the first person that dies is like you don't immediately like. I don't think you immediately like know it's from like somebody killed him. It just happens suddenly.
Yes.
And so it's like, oh
no
shit, like that just happened.
No investigation.
No investigation. Odd, but like, and then you slowly find out that like, it's them doing that, and they're actually they actually are playing the long game, going through with this, like just killing them one by one, and they're just like, you think it's just like they're gonna they're trying to just like wait for inheritance, but no, they're not even waiting for inheritance. They're just gonna keep killing them off until like the last person that's next is just gonna. Just go to, like, the rights to the land just goes to the whites.
I just think it's, like, the thing that's incredible is how disgusting of a character Robert De Niro's, what he's playing is. Because he's this old man, he gets really close and cuddly with, you know, the Native Americans. He's like, yeah, I'll help you. If you need any help, I'm right here for you. And he is the devil incarnate. Like, but, like, legit, like, he is the devil. He is... Like, hey, you know, I'm working with you. I'll help you. I'll help you even build money for an investigation. And what is he doing? He's buying people off to kill or fight any investigative.
But like your average modern day politician, they just had like this reputation of just being this angel, or just like being this someone who just like a big scene about him was he gave money to this dance dance club or something?
Not dance club. I know what you're talking about. The young girls, where they're dancers or whatever.
Yeah,
but not sexual,
dance
obviously. Dance classes, yes. Ballerina or something.
Ballerina class.
Yeah. Something, guys. But either way, it's a big scene. Big scene.
We probably should have read the book, right? But,
yeah, totally. Yeah, read the whole fucking book. Yeah.
On stream, but yeah, it's like that. That's a big scene where like you see you get that like he has this reputation of like that of like he's like the nicest person in the world a very generous person.
No, yeah, he gives the Bruce Wayne effect of like, hey, like here's my philanthropy hand. I'm being very nice. I'm being very generous. I help out around the community. Everything's a shock to him. Wow, that's crazy that happened. Wow, I can't believe it. Wow.
And it's realistic when you see people like that. It's like, oh, they're so nice and generous. So why would they want to take?
Yes. And, you know, it's like, but the cold-heartedness is, you know, what is incredible about it. Like, I think what I like about this movie is to me, like, honestly, this was like a part of my Breakpoints, but I think it's more of a standout because I like the historical accuracy. I like the fact that there was no punches pulled. They were honest about this. It's like, we're not gonna make it a soft story. This is genuinely what we think, not even think, here's what happened. Here's the situation. Here's how shitty it was. And it's not like shit, like, because again, I like when there's hope for the audience to see. It's like when Lily is literally Molly, I mean, when Molly is, the wife, is at the point of, like, basically fucking death. And it's like, she sees the owl. And you're like, wow, is this movie about to end? And, not about to end, but is she about to die and nothing is going to be, and nothing will help her? Like, they're basically like cows or cattle, the way that you know, they are being treated. These Native Americans were being treated like, oh, we'll herd them this way. We'll herd them this way. We'll herd them this way. Like, we'll control them here, here, and here. So that at the end of the day, you will still, you know, give in.
In the beginning, is like, they were kind of like, I guess you can say racist. Like, it seems that way. What was the word for them? Pilgrims or?
Settlers.
Settlers, there we go.
Some would say colonizers, but I think we're past that point because obviously now it's like more civilized, I would say.
Yeah, because
the area isn't like in colonization style where they're just setting up. This is an established area now.
Yeah, because like the owl is like because all the older people were like like we shouldn't have like you shouldn't marry a white guy.
Yes.
Like, you don't want white blood in the family. Like, what are you doing? This is, like, wrong. And it's like, we shouldn't mix at all with these people. And it's like, you're kind of, I was kind of, because I was believing the romance between the main character and the, I keep forgetting her name.
Both main characters.
Yeah, both main characters in the beginning.
Yeah.
So I was like, they're just being racist. They'll see.
Well,
and
they're just being territorial.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Their offspring, because they've either seen it or they are in fear of what could happen, and the fact that we are. It's now the 1900s. They obviously have seen their numbers dwindle significantly as this westward expansion has happened. So they have the right to, the same way that they have the right to say that, even though it is very much racist. You know, it is discriminatory and prejudiced, right? Like, I love the dialogue between the sisters, where it's like, hey, he's only here for your money, and then the other one's like, no, he's here for love. And I love the fact that it's like there's both, like they balanced out both of those perspectives. So whether or not it's true, obviously we know which direction it was. It was a little bit of both, because he went after it because his uncle said to. But I like the fact that both of them, it's like, okay, like, I liked when all three sisters were, communicating and going through with their lives. At that point.
I just find it funny that when you get near the end of the movie, it's like, shit, maybe they were right to be like, to stay away from to the white people. Like,
yeah, no,
they should this mixing just keep causing them death.
Well, even if it was mixing or if it wasn't, what I think we know now obviously is whether you had intermixing or not, the westward expansion was shoving its way into Native American territories, whether or not there was intermixing at all. And so, yeah, like you see the reason they would say that, essentially, like you said. I do want to give a shout out before another shout out is Robbie Robertson. He did the music for this movie. I think the music here is
Robertson.
Yes, and he is an iconic musician. I actually listened to one of his songs that was in the movie Ladder 49, which is a movie that focuses on firefighters in Baltimore City. So that was very cool. But his music is incredible in this movie. It's like I'm intermixing of it's an intermixing of this country-ish music and then native music, and it's really well done. Flows very well. Tense when it needs to be.
Again, respect for every period piece. You don't have to have like an old-timey song just to tell you it's like we're back.
We're in the 1920s, yeah. And it's the time to drink Bud Light.
Like every modern movie, a lot of like modern blockbusters do that. Like biggest example, fucking the newest Transformers. Yep. It's like we're in the was 90s.
What year is it? 1990 something.
We're in the 2000s music. Wu-Tang Clan. Here you go.
Yep. Well, that was 90s, but...
Yeah. 90s, whatever, yeah, 90s.
Yeah, 2000s, 2010s. Wu-Tang is always good. Who gives a fuck?
No, but I'm saying... I
know what you're saying, though. Just
here's the music from that era because we're in the era.
Let's timestamp it. Now, I will say, we're going to talk... If you watch this now, you're probably going to get holdovers later. I'll just be honest with you. That's one of the movies we're going to talk about. That is a movie where they have some of that time period.
Oh, it's not a separate video? I mean...
that's a separate video. But I mean, like, the holdovers does that, but I think executes it better because it feels better. It feels right for that type of movie.
They don't do it very much though. That's the cool thing about holdovers.
Yes.
I think they only did it once in holdovers, and like the other time the music was diegetic, as in it was just playing within the character's acknowledgement. Because of the party.
There were quite a few songs.
Was there?
Yeah. Okay. There were quite a few sons. Yeah, but we'll talk. Obviously, we'll get to that when we talk about the holdovers, guys. But overall, like not overall, but man, like number one, I gotta say, like when people talk about, oh man, look at all these gangs and shit. Look at how crime is ridiculous. It's like you wouldn't want to be back in 19 whatever time this is, because the amount of control that they had, the amount of influence they had in the small town. Just one guy, just Robert De Niro's character had in the influence of the town. I mean, I love when, and again, like, I don't want to speed through anything here, but I love when the FBI agents, which again, this is the very inception of the FBI.
Like when, I just want to say before I keep going.
Go ahead.
I just want to say before I keep going, a big point I know both of us want to talk about is the end. Let's really say that for the end.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But the FBI though, like when they're investigating, it's like you really obviously get the sense, and you already knew because you saw Robert De Niro's character at many points talking to the doctor, like, hey, I need this guy to have life insurance for this reason so I can get set up for this. And then I'll give you this much or whatever. It's like, everything's just a setup against against these Native Americans, right? It's like, oh yeah, we'll help you out. Yeah, we'll smile and wave, basically, like the penguins of Madagascar. Smile and wave, we're good, but we're doing some sly shit on the side. And again, you gotta hand it to him in how accurate of a representation this is, because that's what a lot of people have said for many decades. Like, hey, don't trust them here because this. Don't trust these people here because this. And that's not just white people. That might be any group of people that come in, like, into a certain area. It's like, be careful, be wary, blah, blah, blah. It's like, this is an example of that. And I have to say, I really felt for Molly Burkhart, the wife, because again, like, she's just watching, like, her family go down, and again, like, the local doctor is bought and paid, so they're not helping anyone, and they're not helping with the other sister's alcoholism, clearly, and they're not helping with the depression. It's like, well, you keep, what's his name, Robert De Niro's character.
Sister was scary me. She carries around a fucking gun.
The sister, right, the bigger sister, yes, but the smaller sister that was depressed after the mom's death, like, what Robert De Niro just gave her, like, alcohol, and it was like, and like, it's like, what the fuck, like, so there's, like, no real help for just these women, and it was, like, fucking atrocious to watch, because it's like, man, you know that this is not, nothing is helping them, nothing is here positively, like, everything here is impacting them in some way, shape, or form.
One of the most devastating and petty deaths you see is at the very beginning where, like, this lady and her baby are just walking outside this house, and then this man just, like, shoots her from the fucking window.
Yeah.
And then just, like, puts the gun down next to her so it looks like a suicide, takes a baby.
Yeah. Because you could just do that.
Yeah. And it's like, it does put you in that time period, like, there was no help. There was no surveillance. There was no help around this time. If like if it is what it looks like, it's just what it looks like. That's how it's recorded.
There's no DNA ability. There's none of that. So a lot of that, like you said, there's no DNA. Like, none of that investigative stuff was as detailed as it could be now. So it just limits that potential.
So I'll be honest. This is not the movie's fault. It was a long day.
Don't you dare tell me you went to sleep. Don't you dare tell me you went to sleep in this movie. I know it's a long movie, but this movie was, like, gut-wrenching. I can't believe... When I was in it, like, I was in it at that point, you know. You went to sleep, bitch?
Alright, I won't tell you.
And then go ahead, because you're leading into it, so fuck it. I went to sleep for 3 out of the 23 and 26 minutes. So I've only seen 26 minutes of this movie.
But no, I like dozed off a little bit. I don't know when. It was before I think I missed the scene where they moved.
Where they moved.
And that was it. They moved. They were in the first setting, and then they moved to the city or like a more suburban area from. I think they moved.
You mean like when she was dying?
Not when she was dying. It was like earlier.
Because then she's taken to that hospital.
It was before the explosion.
Ah, yeah. I think she goes to her other sisters, or
that's where the other sister lives, or something.
Someone related.
Cause it felt like the setting changed.
It did.
Because it was, I didn't doze off for very long because I was trying to fight the whole time. I was like, oh shit! But like, well, that's what happens.
Now I'm losing my placement a little bit, but I know what you. I think I know what you're talking about. Where like they're in a different area compared to.
Because I didn't miss very much of the movie.
Because you know what happened.
That was the only missing link. It was like, where the fuck did they move?
Because I think there was a fire, obviously, when they were doing the oil field things or whatever. Like they were in that area, and then the oil fields.
I saw that. That was before that.
By the way, did you see in the middle of that scene there was a sequence, obviously, when they were like digging in the ground, and then clearly, like,
yes.
I don't know what's happened, but like then you have this thing where like for a moment it goes like this. I'm like, oh Jesus, this is creeping me the fuck out. Holy shit! You saw that? You remember that, right?
It was like some kind of weird
sequence.
Like dream sequence.
Yeah, but it was like the
like,
fire was like right next.
Another time, fucking period piece movie was 1970 something.
1917.
Yeah, 1917 had like another similar sequence of like this weird like shot like of this like area surrounded by fire.
Yeah. Again, I think that.
Have you seen that one?
Not for a while. I remember
so
more.
I probably saw it around the same time you saw it. So, yeah. But I still remember that sequence.
Remember that. Yeah, I understand. Just one of those blind spots for me where it's like I'm trying to, I just think that the.
Okay, yeah, I was just trying to say. So wait, what did they? So yeah, did they move or?
I believe so. Yeah, they moved to a different location because I think there was a fire. The fire was close or something. I don't know. Something happened.
It was before the explosion. I know that.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that's where I probably like dozed off for a little bit, and I woke up like, oh shit, but like because the thing about the movie, like this goes into like what I like how I see the movie. It's tragedy movie a thing? Just
a tragic movie? Yeah, tragedy. Yeah, it's just like a tragedy play. Like it's a tragedy.
Yeah, it's just like it's just a tragedy movie. You just like watching these all these people, awful actions, people getting killed and nothing being done about it. And then it gets to a point like what really woke me up is like I didn't woke up on it. I woke up before I got to it, but like what really woke me up was like when the fucking house exploded.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
and the story is like aware of that, where it's like that's a like because the characters keep saying like, you think you've gone too far with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because the character's constantly saying it. So like the story itself is even aware of like, okay, yeah, this is bigger than anything. This is a bigger death than anything else they've done before.
Yeah, because the sheriff was talking to Robert De Niro's character. And
yeah,
like, you're showing yourself too much.
Yeah,
which is a crazy line to say. Which means that it's not only that it's like it's known that it's him and they're cool with it and paid for it, and the cop is bought and paid for, but like it's like he's done so many of these that this is outlandish. Like this. Yeah, because like it catches you too. Because like it's a slow scene, just like the main character talking to his wife, and it's like, man, I just feel so bad for her and for both of them. It was like, all right, just see what happens. And next, boom. Yeah.
It's like the fucking windows breaking everything. It's like some kind of like supernatural shit just fucking happened in the middle of this like realistic movie.
Yeah, just a lot of explosives. I will say, like, when you talk about there are very many comedic moments in this. Situationally, one of the standout ones is when obviously Leonardo DiCaprio tries to get a guy that's not really an expert marksman to kill this Native American that had formerly married his own wife earlier, and so he tries to get him killed. And this older drunk guy that's supposed to be the marksman to kill this Native American befriends him, and they start drinking and having a good time, and he doesn't kill him immediately. And then when he goes to kill him, he doesn't actually do it the way he's supposed to do it at all. And it's just like, and then when he comes, it's like, how do you kill him? And I love the conversation. You know, I hated it because I know what it means, but I loved it where it's like, Robert De Niro's character. It's just two great actors, Leonardo DiCaprio and Robert De Niro.
Yes.
Both like, how did he fucking miss it? I don't know how he missed it. He's supposed to shoot in the front of the head. I told him straight in the front of the head. It's like, how the fuck did he miss straight in the front of the head? I don't know how he missed straight in the front. It's like, I do love, like, I loved, like, there were a couple of moments, and then I loved, obviously, relationships were rushed then, and I think some people need to understand that. But I like, because of course it's like only in a few scenes where it's like boom, and they're lovers. But as they're getting to know each other, I do like the jokes, like the humor between each other, like, and you know, like you wouldn't say what he said, like, and obviously the trailer said it, and it's kind of like it's a tone setter for what the time period is. You've got some nice skin. What's that color? You got the color. You got nice colored skin. You know, that's what color is that? My color. It's like, okay, all right. But then there's like just moments where, you know, it feels like they're a couple, and I do like that, obviously, because there's nothing wrong with that inherently. It's just that the goal is terrible, and the goal of what
there's moments where you feel like their marriage is slipping, but like he just like the main actor.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, Leonardo. I'm bad with names, but like he just keeps reeling her back in.
Well, yeah, she's also, the other problem is, like, again, it feels like she's just being controlled like an animal, where it's like everyone else around you is dead. Everyone else because in the beginning, if you remember, in the very beginning, it's her family, and when they're talking, it's her family and his family. When it gets to the point of, like, after, when that dinner scene, when they're sitting down and it's... Yeah, shut the fuck up. When... You living? Yeah. But when they're sitting down and they're at the dinner table and they announce that they're pregnant, and they announce that they're, hey...
You wrote this on yourself.
And I don't... It's a cat, man. It's all good. I don't live here.
Can leave that in.
It's adorable. I'll take it. I'll take it for $1 billion. But when, again, they're sitting at the dinner table and they're announcing that they're pregnant, it's like, who else is there? It's just everyone on the husband side of the family. She has no one on her side anymore. Like, on her supportive side. Like, you're just watching this progression. Yeah, cat cam. But you're watching this progression, you know, and it's like, fuck. It really, really, genuinely is trash. I don't think I've seen a worse progression outside of maybe like a movie with slaves. 12 Years a Slave comes close, maybe, but it's just a shitty situation.
Like I love how the movie keeps, because like after that explosion scene, it just like the aftermath just keeps escalating. And it just keeps escalating, and then like because yeah, the tone just keeps it's getting more suspenseful.
Yes.
And then like
I think it was already like it was more.
It was already there, but like it kept like, well, I guess I was using the right word before, escalating on itself. Like,
yeah, well, things keep sharply getting. Things are all getting worse and things are getting tighter. But yeah, it feels like it's like the bank robbers that just did a heist that was too much, and they're trying to keep themselves a little safe. You know, they want to try and get into the safe zone of this. So, you know, that's where you get
just tighten up a little bit more. Yeah,
that's where you get Robert De Niro and Leonardo DiCaprio, and they're talking. And it's like, yeah, if you get arrested, just understand, my lawyers are the best lawyers, and there's not going to be a problem at all. And it's like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Wait, I thought we were safe, buddy. What are you talking about? What do you mean, if? Oh, we were good. I thought the world was fine. And so, yeah, things were taking a turn, obviously.
And then, like, when the detective shows up, like, that's when it gets, like, it becomes a different movie, kind of. Or...
Well, the thing is, the difference is before, and like you said, before the explosion and after the explosion, because there were already investigators, there were already detectives, there were already like people that were paid to do that. But what would happen is they would get killed, right? Like there's a definitive difference. You feel it in the suspense of the movie, where this time it's remember the wife and a group of Native Americans go to the Capitol. And at first it feels like it's being passed off. It feels like, nothing's really going to happen, right? But then, like you said, the Bureau comes in. It's a federal level thing. And now it's like a little more seriously taken, you know. That's when you know it's a little more, like, finally something is turning, the tide is turning. She finally gets the assistance that she needs as well medically because, of course, we learn she's diabetic. And... what I find incredible is, like, you know, it's like, yeah, I understand that, like, he is a guy that's, like, maybe he loves her, but the limits that he was going to, where it's like, yeah, just give her this give her the poison. Give her the poison and put it in her fucking thing. And it's like, she's dying, man. Like, I don't give a fuck if you love her or not. Like, there's no fucking way I could just sit there. Like, how deranged this motherfucker is. Like,
I love that he's so, like, he's so depressed about being like in between. He just drinks the poison anyway.
Yeah.
Even though it's a small dosage, like that dosage is gonna do anything to him. He's just like, fuck.
Well, I don't have some, but it's like cool. still an asshole in this situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I sure. Do I want you to be a better person? I mean,
the more this like the investigation gets like closer to finding out what it is, like the more you see like the main character just get more pathetic because he just like he's just getting influenced by both sides constantly, and it's like the worst when he just like he gets gaslighted so bad, like, oh, they had me telling lies, they fucking broke me down and like had me lying about my uncle. Can you believe that?
Yeah, and again, like you can tell how easily influenced he is because the FBI gets to him, but then the other guy gets to him and says, I haven't told him a thing. Or I told him everything, or whatever he said. And it's like that sways a certain way. And then when he gets back home for a moment, you know, before the FBI arrests him, then it's like, or arrest him again to get him as evidence, essentially. It's like, remember, they want to use him as evidence. And then he hears, like, he said, like, what's his, Robert De Niro's character, like, has his lawyers basically encircle him. And it's like, hey, you're going to do this and this. And then suddenly he's now, I'm not working with the FBI anymore. I'm working with you. And then he switches back up again.
I love that scene of the court case because, like, because if I was on the other people's side, I'd be pissed too because as soon as like the main character comes in, the fat guy who works for his uncle, it's like, whoa, let me talk to him. It's like because he hasn't had a chance to brainwash him yet, and he was about to confess. And everybody like, what the fuck? No! He's gonna fucking confess his fucking crimes!
Yep. That was it. And it's just so obvious throughout this movie how easily influenced these systems can be, whether medically, whether financially, you know, because even like financially, like we're talking about even the banks, it's like she wants to take out a loan for something that's like, hey, I want to go to DC, which should be pretty simple. It's her money, I think. Like, and it's like, I want to take this out. And it's like, well, you can't really do that right now. And then the bank teller tells De Niro's character, like, yeah, he can't. She's doing this, or she's trying to do this. You know, so everything is being funneled back. And it's like, it's just this destructive story that's terrifying. And it's just real. It's just depressingly real. Because it's like, oh yeah, you know, this is real. This is happening. Nothing you can do.
You talk about the ending now?
Sure. I'm trying to think if there's anything else.
Because it's...
Oh, before we do, sorry.
Okay.
I do want to say, this movie is very respectful, clearly, of this group's heritage, Native American group.
Are we even going to use that breakpoints?
So I was going to get to that
slide
later. Like, hey, I don't think there were any breakpoints, right?
Okay.
So, but the only breakpoint was the length. But I love how respected they are of this Native American culture, because you know they have the mother die. She's one of the she's not one of the first deaths, but her death happens probably about, I'd say, halfway through the movie, or probably maybe a quarter of the way through the movie, because then we have impacts of her death impacting other characters. But she's slowly dying, and then, you know, when she dies, I love it's like somber but beautiful, where it's like, oh, she's dying, she sees what look like, I'm guessing, are her parents and then this spirit, and that takes her away, and it's like, that's beautiful. I like that they visualize that for the audience, like they visualize what that tribe interprets is death.
Yeah. And
I like that very much. Again, I like the music here. I like how appreciative they are of, you know,
those drums,
the drums, and just everything about that. And yeah, just it sucks very much, because yeah, the way that they talk about the way that they talk about Native Americans in this movie, like they're just cows, they're cattle. Specifically, Robert De Niro's character. You know, it's like, it's gruesome, because it's like, yeah, I need him to last for at least another year. Crazy. Let's talk about the ending. What do you got?
What a whiplash.
Yeah.
Alright, he's gonna...
What?
I thought he was gonna go. Oh, okay.
Oh no,
Yeah.
you were sorry. You were excited about it, so I didn't want to. Oh, sorry. Oh.
No, I can go. But like, I like how it's like it's still. Because by the way, the ending for folks who just want to spoil, because like it's just it turns into like a live
Play like
a live crime drama podcast.
Crime drama. No, that's like the
crime,
thing they do in front of plays after when it ends, right? Like they do that. Like it was a
true crime. It was like a true crime.
Like a radio story, essentially.
Yeah, a live like true crime radio story.
Yeah.
Well, like with the and like they even do like they're even doing like live Foley and everything. I like how like even though they like it's a different time period, it's still there. It's still an old timey time period.
Yeah.
So it's still a period piece in a way. And I thought it was a fun, creative way to end the story, because like I'm pretty sure that they had to follow the source material, they had to follow the book and everything.
Yes.
So but the ending, the way the actual story ends, from what it looks like, it's just like it's not very satisfying. It's a true ending, but it's not really satisfying. I think like this is a satisfying way to end the story where you don't have to see how like any of it. Because it is just a bleak story.
Yeah, I believe what the actor. By the way, some of those actors are very awesome people. By the way, some of the actors that are in that ending shot, it's like wow.
Of course, Stacey himself is in there.
Yeah, he says the last piece there, which is very respectful and awesome. But I think
and there's some cameos by other, I think, like
just very great actors, man.
Yeah,
like, and they're reading this, and I believe it's like, yeah, this is like what they say. It's like, man, it actually ended way worse. Truthfully, like the situation ended way worse, and some people got off, and some people did spend a certain amount of time in prison, but it didn't end like, oh yeah, as good as even we wrote it. We wrote it in a way where things were a little better, like in the movie. So it's crazy.
It's even though it's a bleak ending, it's like. It doesn't like leave you feeling icky if you sorry.
No, it definitely doesn't.
It doesn't leave you feeling icky if the movie is like frames it as a story that's already passed.
Yes.
It's a story that's already passed. This is history. We're like and this is like a live show that's like telling the story of history.
Like I still leave thinking about, obviously, when I left the theater, I still left like, man, this was absolutely disgusting. But it definitely softened the blow, because I think that distance between the literal film itself and this little post-product thing is actually better for audiences in the end, because it separates that a little. You also kind of are left thinking about where else in real life this happens and still happens, you know. So yeah, it leaves you in a way just looking back at this movie like, man, fuck. Like, and again, I appreciate that they don't pull punches. I appreciate that this is the truth of the matter, not like, for the most part, you know, and they do as much of a job as they can, and I do appreciate that very much. So yeah, I think that ending helps very much. So.
Are we going to get to the breakpoints, or did you?
So, yeah, what we can do... So, Mark, I'm going to be honest with you. If you have a breakpoints, of course, are the negative portions.
The fucking length.
What do you think?
I enjoyed every piece of this movie, but, like, I think, like, some of the more atmospheric, I guess, sections could have been cut. I think could have been, like... I think they could have, like, cut around it or, like, speed up some scenes to, like, make it, a good... Like, a solid 3 hours. It's just, like, it's... 3.5 is a little bit over the mark. Especially with the way, you know, this is being, like, broadcast in movie theaters. It's, like, you know, a lot of movie theaters are going to have, like, 25-minute trailers.
On top of that.
Yeah. So it's, like, ooh, it's a long... Especially because, like, I made it to my movie on time because I had no other choice because it was, like, a later showing. And I had to suffer through trailers and then the movie itself. It was... It was a trailers that was making it long. Like, if there wasn't trailers, I probably would have, like, not dozed off in where I did.
Yeah, I think that, again, time-wise, like... So here's the thing, it's a double-edged sword. I like the amount of time that this movie has. I do think... I was sitting in the theater at a certain point thinking, my God, how long do we have to keep going with that? Like, how how long does this journey go? And, I would have preferred for it to wrap, but I liked this story. I like the package overall, you know what I mean? Like, and the package, I think, is important the way that it's framed, and I think that you get a lot of information from this movie. And it's not only just a story that is worth telling, it's a story that informs you a lot about the situation, right? Again, like, I think a lot of people just suddenly think, like, oh yeah, this is what happened. Like, Native Americans were put in reservations, everything was hunky-dory, and we live, like, and so they live in their reservations, and settlers lived in this area, and things were fine. It's like, no, here's what happened, here's how things were, loosely controlled, and, the West was being established, but shit was not as good as you might think. The thing is, like, do I think that I think the time is extreme, but I also think that you couldn't have this movie any other way. Like, if you told this in 90 minutes, you lose a lot of the critical.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It shouldn't be short. I think it could still be a long 3 hours. It's a solid 3 hours. Again, Oppenheimer was like a solid 3 hours.
Yeah, absolutely. And that one, and that's the other thing. Like, even Oppenheimer, it's like they chunk out a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's because it's like, how far can you tell what story?
And I am aware we do be watching like long ass superhero movies. The only thing about the difference between like a movie like this and a superhero movie is superhero movies are like a rock concert.
Well, they're blockbusters. This is a period piece and the MCU are blockbusters.
Like, superhero movies are like a fucking rock concert. It's just like it will just keep it's meant to just keep the adrenaline pumping. So that's why sometimes we're like good long superhero movies. I don't really get sleepy. This is for your entertainment. This is like a long piece of art.
I would contradict that only for, like, in certain instances you have films like Logan, where with Logan you have a film that is 2 hours, I believe. There are slow moments. It's obviously tying into this Western idea, Western cinema idea, and it's slow paced at certain times. It lets moments breathe. Like,
I would still contradict that by saying there is still like a light show, like effects that like stuff there.
Well, you could counter that by saying, well, there's the house explosion, there's the shootings, there's
not very far in between though. There's like with Logan.
Again, this is a period piece, yes, yeah. But you were saying that you're missing the point. You were saying that like superhero movies are made to be they're made to be minute by minute, keep you interested. But I think in some instances, the thing I'm saying is the closest example to one that breaks that norm is Logan, because its pacing is not that, but it still is a hero movie.
It is, but like
again, you're missing the point.
I think we use a different example, honestly.
I know
Logan has a lot of sections of action of just like high energy.
Again, you are missing the point. The closest example. I'm not saying it is literally that. I'm saying the closest example to that, especially since it is a Western movie, it pauses in a lot of moments. There are 10-minute swaths of time where it's just dialogue, situation, and then action. But it's not action. We just saw the Marvels. That's attempts at action, a little bit of dialogue, action.
I guess I get what you're trying to get at. I don't think it's a very good example. No, because here's the thing. There are some slow moments, but like just like the thing about
slowest movie. It's probably the slowest movie.
It doesn't feel slow, honestly.
It doesn't though. That's just its execution. That's what I'm saying. Like,
no, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of like action in that movie. It's like, and like the thing about the slow moments of that movie is just like something is about to happen. It's like it's about.
I don't know. You didn't know that upon first viewing. You don't know where it's going upon first viewing.
No, upon first viewing, I felt like even the slower moments is like, okay, they're about to get in a situation where he has to fuck up some shit, and then he fucks up some shit. That's where I felt when I was first watching it.
Sure, but it was
because I'm not saying I didn't like those slow moments. I did like those slow moments, but like I was predicting like it was shit was about to get fucked up, and there was going to be
that's a notable prediction, but you could say that for any fucking movie because there's an inciting incident, and then there's rising action, there's a climax.
No, for this one, it's like I don't know when I didn't know when the fucking house was gonna explode.
Yes, but I think there's a bunch of moments. If you didn't get attached to the Native American scenes in the first half of this movie, then I don't know what to tell you. This was a
I am attached. No, I'm saying there's I was comparing like superhero movies to a fucking rock concert. There's a light show element. You're expecting like the noise to get loud. You're expecting like lights to fucking and smoke effects to come out.
Yes.
Like Logan does have that too, where it does have those light show elements. You are expecting like. Because it does give you what you want from it. Even though it is slower than most superhero movies,
yes.
it gives you exactly what you want at points where you expect it.
That's what the fuck I'm saying, but you keep missing the point. I said
I don't think it's a good example.
I'm saying
I get the point you want to make.
Then give me an example that's better than that, Mark.
Huh?
Then give me an example that's better than that.
I can't really because there's it's not really. I don't think it's a good argument.
You could even say something like
a good contradiction.
You could even say something like X2, which I haven't seen for a while, but X2.
I need to see the X2.
Cool. But you could even say X2.
Maybe
slow moments, right? Slow moments, character moments, situation. And I'm not saying that's not even close. Like the only reason I was connecting the two was they're Western and they have dialogue moments, and there's also like a shitty situation that a character is put in, right? Like, that is why I tethered those two together. Not to make a superhero comparison forever, but just because that is a movie that is slower than most of the blockbuster MCU type movies that we've seen over the past 10 years, and it takes breaths. It pauses for moments. It lets moments seep in. It lets you talk to Patrick Stewart's Professor X having his mental moments. It lets you, just delve into these characters a little more, and the scientist and shit like that. I think that, again, like, just that's it.
I think, yeah. I don't care. It's the closest by a little. Like, I think the movie's still a rock concert. I think Logan is still a rock concert.
It definitely isn't a rock concert. No, X-Men is a rock concert. No Way Home is a rock concert.
It's a slower rock concert, but it's a rock concert.
Then it's not a rock concert, Mark. You keep using, I don't know, like, that was my whole point, is it's not a rock concert. There are some, Avengers Infinity War is a fucking rock concert. Logan is like a beautiful orchestra. It still has fantastic musical moments, but if we're using that comparison,
but in between every orchestration, they play like fucking rock music and have smoke effects. Like, I'm not like it has all that shit superhero movies do have, but it's still a fantastic movie and it does break the norm. Yeah. But like it does like it like it's still like when I'm comparing superhero movies to rock concert, and I think Logan is still a rock concert.
All right, we'll leave it at that. I mean, it's up for interpretation. So, at the end of the day, Mark,
bitch.
Any other?
What? Say something.
That's like we come to a noble agreement, and then you throw me down the stairs. Right?
Yeah. Let's agree to disagree. All right.
Yeah. Oh my god. But yeah, man. We're gonna go ahead and get to the sort of wrap up, final thoughts. Anything else? Because I'm pretty much said what I needed to say. I think this movie is fantastic. I think it's golden. I think it's just an absolute, like you said, it's a tragedy feature. It is fucked up in more ways than you can count. And I think, like, the great thing about this is Scorsese gets the most out of his actors. Like, he gets the most out of these actors because you don't see Robert De Niro. You see an asshole. Like, and that's bold. For you, when you're basically at the edge of death, Robert De Niro's old. Like, you're at the edge of death. You don't know if you're going to die tomorrow. To play a character that's so disgusting, and that might be your last movie, is respectable. Even though the character is not. Like, this guy, you might as well put him up there with fucking Hitler. The way that he's fucking hurting Native Americans and getting close to him for the purpose of...
It's weird to say, but, like, in a way, I guess he's, like, worse than Hitler. Well, no,
he's not worse, but evil carries.
Oh, well, no, like, no, I was gonna say, like, Hitler is, like, oh, no, he's not.
You're about to say Hitler's like a rock concert.
No.
We're not doing this again.
Hitler's a rock concert. Yeah. Like, the Holocaust is a fucking rock concert, dude.
Yeah.
No, actually, no, forget what I was about to say. I was going to say, like, Hitler was self-aware as evil. No, he wasn't. He was a hero to, like, all of Germany.
But no, he knew what he was doing.
He knew...
He knew that it was evil, but it's like some evil has to be done. It's like Thanos. Yeah, I know it's evil, but I still don't fucking do it.
Did he think it was noble?
He probably thought it was noble because he thought he was right, because he knew that evil. He thought that I need to do this because I'm right. Thus, it's an evil act, but I know I'm right. I need to steal this pencil because I need to pass this test. I might be evil, but I stole a pencil. It's illegal.
Okay,
but
yeah.
I stole a pencil. Fuck it. But again, I think that evil carries between the two. Like, he is a fuck. He is an absolute asshole. And same thing with, and I know that Leonardo DiCaprio's role is not as evil, but the actions he does make it, to me, right up there, because you're going to poison your wife. You're going to go through this situation. Again, you can go on the run. However far you go,
and you can see like his part of his conscience is trying to fight it, and it's just like slowly fading away.
Yeah, but it's like at a certain point, I went and thought, I don't give a fuck what conscience you have. You're a monster, motherfucker. You poisoned.
Oh yeah, I didn't care about him, but his conscience is like, you can see his conscience is trying to fight him.
Absolutely, yeah. So and again, I do I like how realized this area is, the setting, this town, the small town. It feels so real. It feels genuine, and I do also appreciate that they showed the Tulsa burning of Black Wall Street. That was very respectable. That was a major incident. So yeah. But anyway, yeah, I think it's a fantastic movie that I wouldn't recommend most people see because it's fucking disgusting. If you can't stomach that, I understand. But yeah. What about you? Like, it's great. It's a great movie, but I wouldn't recommend it because to me, it's like watching a slave movie. It's like a slave movie. Like, yeah, you want to see a slave movie? No, don't want to recommend a slave movie to people.
I recommend this. Is just like, this is a good movie. It's just well made. I think just for the art form itself, I think I would recommend it because it's gonna be. It's not on Apple Plus yet, but it's set to premiere on Apple Plus later after its theater run.
Yeah.
And I think this is not a. I think this is too long of a movie in theaters. I hate these theatrically long movies. I think a long ass movie is good for home because you can just at least sit and take breaks. Unless it's again a rock concert, because then it's just you're just there to see the light. You're just there to see the big light show on the big screen. Mm-hmm. But for these more longer art forms, it's just you can shorten them a bit. I feel 3 hours just enough. But a little bit over that, and probably
a bit much.
Yeah, a bit much.
Again,
it's still great, and then but it's coming to Apple Plus, so if you can watch it at home, find a way to watch it at home. I really recommend it there.
Yeah. What did you, by the way? What did you think? Because I thought so. We don't get a lot of new intro graphics for movies. I know that this is not the first Apple original film, but this is the first time I've seen it theatrically. And I will say, as someone that I studied the history of Apple. I used to be a huge fan of Apple, sort of growing up. There's obviously no lore to Apple. I really do love their intro.
You were the first person Steve Jobs uttered the words "Get on your knees."
Oh my, get the fuck out. But legitimately though, I love how there's cues of the Mac. There's cues of the Mac startup. It's a beautiful sort of intro theme. It's as Apple as you expect. I love that it's more of a zoomed in portion of the Apple as well. So yeah, everything about that was.
I forgot the logo.
Yeah. It's just a quick startup. It's black and white.
It was probably a nice logo. I forgot about it over the rest of the movie.
It's as clean as a multi-billion-dollar company can make an intro.
I do like nice. So I'll look at it again.
It's better than Paramount's super CGI heavy Mountain. To me, I think they should just clean that up a little bit. I like the CGI of Disney's.
I miss the old Nickelodeon movies days where they change up the logo every time.
Yeah.
I miss the old Disney days where they change up the fucking castle every time.
Hey man, I've been waiting for that for a while. They played with it in the early 2010s and then they stopped completely.
And they sometimes play with the new one, but very rarely, and it's not much.
But they don't do a lot. Exactly, they don't do a lot to change it. They just we did this a little differently. Hey, we changed this a little. Anyway, any other thoughts, Mark, before we wrap this up?
I wish it was more of a rock concert like Logan.
Oh my god. Guys, this has been the Screen Blast podcast. Guys, of course, if you like theatrical features that we can talk about, what? If you like theatrical...
Just question your own
If you like movie conversations, my god, go ahead and check it out right here at ScreenBlastPodcast.com, at the ScreenBlast Podcast on YouTube, at ScreenBlast Society on YouTube, and we will continue to give you guys some great content. Guys, thanks for watching, and stay tuned.
Walking out, everybody! Get out of here!